to speak with us about her topic. Welcome, Jack.
All right, so today I'm going to talk to you about the Family Abuse Services Center of Alamance County. So did you know that every 9 seconds in the U.S. a woman is assaulted or beaten? Or that every day in the U.S. more than 3 women are murdered by their husbands or boyfriends? Now they may seem like a shocking bunch of facts. Honestly, I did not think those statistics were so high, but still, you may think that this has no relevance in your life. As students of Elon University, most of us have lived very privileged lives. You may not know anyone who's been affected by domestic violence in your life, but actually, you might. Studies show that nearly 1 in 5 college women will be victims of attempted or actual sexual assault. So take a look around the room. Statistically, at least 2 women in this room could be victims. You may go to class with a woman every day who you don't know is a victim of domestic violence. So why am I telling you this? This speech is to encourage you all to become aware and conscious of domestic violence. We may think that as 20-something-year-old students, we have no duties and responsibilities in the real world to help out people that are less fortunate than us. But this is a pressing issue that exists everywhere in the world, especially in college campuses. So my main goal is to persuade you all to donate to Family Abuse Services Center of Alamance County to help the victims in our community. So first I just want to talk to you about domestic violence, because it's a sticky situation. You never know what is considered. Most people see it as a black or white concept. It's either existing or it's not. There's actually a lot of gray areas. So domestic violence is in general defined as a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that is used by one partner to intimidate or gain power over another. So domestic violence, we think usually just comes in one form. Most people think it as sexual assault, rape, attempted rape, sexual harassment, but that's not true. It's not just physical violence. Emotional abuse is also considered domestic violence. This is considered undermining an individual's sense of self-worth, talking down to them, trying to intimidate them, trying to make them feel as if they're not significant. This also can be physical abuse, such as hitting, shoving, pushing, pulling hair, any of that, and sexual abuse, which is coercing or attempting to coerce any sexual behavior without consent. There are a couple myths that I want to dispel about domestic violence also. It doesn't only affect women, and the Family Abuse Services Center of Alamance County focuses mainly on women. However, anyone can be a victim of domestic violence. In fact, 48.8% of men allege that they have been victims of psychological aggression or physical aggression by their partners in their life. Furthermore, 1 in 10 men in the U.S. have experienced rape. Now, we may not think that's ever true. Most people would venture to say that men can't be raped. It's also a myth that needs to be dispelled about domestic violence. Domestic violence may be against one individual, but it also has a profound effect on the people around that victim. It can affect family members, co-workers, friends, other witnesses, and the community at large. So right now I want to tell you a little bit more about the Family Abuse Services Center of Alamance County and what it does. Family Abuse Center is composed of 3 main systems that I'm going to talk to you about today. The first one is the emergency shelter, which is called our Sister's House. It provides domestic violence victims with immediate and short-term housing to get them out of situations that they're feeling unsafe elsewhere. So one of the main things that is disheartening about domestic violence is many victims stay in abusive relationships because they feel like they have no other option. They feel like they're not financially responsible enough to get out of their situation. They feel dependent on the person that they're with who's abusing them. So our Sister's House really provides just short-term housing for them to go and feel safe and get food, have a place to stay while they figure out their situation and get back on their feet. A second portion of Family Abuse Services Center is legal advocates that are at the heart of the center, and they advise victims how to report crimes and guide them through the legal process. The third section of Family Abuse Services Center that's important, I think, is support group led by a clinical worker that focuses on peer support, domestic violence education, and skill building exercises. It's really just a place where women can go talk to people who have similar stories. They can share their stories in a non-judgmental area. It helps them feel as if they're not alone. and it's just really important for them to share their stories and be honest with their emotions. So my purpose today was to get you guys to donate. And so you might wonder where your donations are going to go. So you can donate in three main ways. Money donations are always important to upkeep the facility and provide grants to women. So Family Abuse Services of Alamance County gives grants to women, such as paying their first month of rent if they were to move into a new apartment, or give them $100 per month to get groceries. So that's where actual cash donations would go to. Also, supplies donations are always needed. As I said, our sister's house provides housing, so beds, mattresses, toilet paper, any of that stuff is very useful to the facility. And another thing is toys for children. It can seem like a very depressing environment. Obviously, you're around a bunch of victims, and usually women bring their kids along because they want to take them out of a violent situation as well. So trucks, dolls, any games, movies, art supplies that are obviously not violent are appreciated so that the kids are placed in an uplifting environment. And if you don't have any money, another way to get involved is to volunteer time. As part of Alpha Chi Omega, this is actually our philanthropy, so girls in our sorority go weekly and babysit and supervise children while their mothers are in group sessions or at work or going to job interviews or anything that they need to be away from the center. You can also volunteer time as an office admin, do basic secretary work volunteers are the ones who run this facility, so they always need more help. And that's essentially all I have for you today. I hope that you guys have all learned a lot about domestic violence and just really have a grasp on what it is. And I hope you consider making donations to the center right here in our county to help women that you may see on a daily basis. I want to thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great